That's good.
All good, man. Back a bit ill, like I said this week, but we're getting through it. It's Good
Yeah.
Friday, although it never feels like we have bank holidays. Do you take bank holidays off?
Nah, they just feel like a
Just
weekday.
another
So
day. Yeah,
yeah, it's normally just weekends, and then yeah, sometimes like if there's a holiday booked in, like a long weekend, maybe I'll take the Monday off or something like that. But
yeah. Or
yeah,
if you've got specific plans or something, but I'm the
mm.
same. Yeah, like she's got today off and Monday off, and she's like, "What we
Oh,
doing?" I'm like, "Oh, working, man."
yeah, yeah. Have you got a
Unless
lot
I
on
had
today?
something specific to do. Not a
Yeah.
lot today, to be honest. Just podcast, and then just need to make. I think I've got one more loop to make for the kit for the bundle I'm doing. There's 30
Hmm.
loops in there. Um, Although I might make a few more because a couple of them had some different vibes. And then after that, I've got a live stream at 4. So in between that, yeah, I need to catch up on some admin, to be honest. So probably just going through some emails. Um, got sponsors to reply to and things like that. How about you?
Mm. Nice. And yeah, it's quite a busy one today. I've got basically all my mentorship calls
Mm-hmm.
throughout the day. Excuse me. And then I've got two follow-up calls. Basically, one guy I had to put a pause on it for a couple months, and he wants to restart today. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna do that call like in the evening. And then there's another guy who wants to start as well. It's like a follow-up call this one, and yeah, hopefully we'll get him onboarded tonight. So it's just all the calls plus a couple of calls on the back end as well. But
Nice.
the two calls in the evening shouldn't take too long, so it'll be quite chill.
Got ya.
And
It's a
then
busy
just
day.
yeah, and then just a bit of editing in between calls as well. Need to get that done.
Are you enjoying doing calls and mentorship compared to what you were doing before? Like kits, working on kits and loops and everything.
Yeah, it's just more sociable. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when I'm working on kits, I just procrastinate so much. I like
Yeah,
just
same.
like it was fun in the beginning. And it is fun still now. It just depends on the kit, but you know what I mean. It's like certain sections of the kit will be beneficial to the person that's going to have it. So you're like, yeah, I've got to throw this in, but I'm not going to
Mm-hmm.
enjoy making it.
Yeah, I hear
So
that.
yeah,
There's
so
a lot of
yeah,
tedious stuff that comes with making a kit.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's
Because
like
it's not
more and
just
more
the
every year as well, isn't it? It's like remember a few years ago you could literally just do a drum kit, but now it's got to be a whole bundle. But now it's not just a bundle. Now you've got to like time stretch everything to make it easier because it's like
yeah,
people keep
yeah,
leveling up the kits, and you need to level up every time someone thinks of something new. So it's like,
hmm
right, how do I make it better and better and better? Which is good, but it's a lot more work these days.
yeah, exactly. And you've got all like the bigger companies like Splice and even FL, like the cloud. Like yeah,
Yeah, we're competing with that.
it's all so intuitive now. So it's like
Hmm.
we need to just keep pushing it, making sure everything is as close to like those guys as possible. And they're like huge corporations. It's just normally us or a couple of freelancers helping us out. So
Yeah.
yeah, it becomes quite difficult. How are you finding everything with the YouTube stuff now with Ed?
To be honest, I haven't really been tapped into it. I think for the first few months of this year, I was like so business focused, and it made me take a step back from making music. But then after the first quarter was done, I'm like, I actually need to spend time like making music again and working on sounds and everything. So now that I've been
Yeah.
working on sounds, I've been leaving that to the side, which is dumb really because I just invested that large amount.
Mm.
I think the thing with Ed is if I wanted to do something similar to him, it would be a lot more business and mentorship focused. But I don't know if I want to switch my content to that at this point.
Right.
It's a tough one because it could be a good thing to do, but I don't know if that's the content I'll really like putting out. I haven't done a lot
Yeah.
of it, so I'm not sure. I might find that I really love making that stuff, but I just don't think I'm ready to make the switch
Mm.
because my whole channel is built off tutorials and occasional vlogs, and once in a blue moon there'll be some business stuff. So if I make that switch to helping producers make money, for example, then it's just a completely different business. So although that's what the guys in there are saying I should do, I don't know if that's right now.
Mm.
So part of me is thinking, man, I invested a lot in mentorship, but I don't know if it's I don't know if I'm ready for that yet.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And yeah, I feel like it's quite a difficult, it's a big switch as well because you're going from helping producers make better music with,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, say tutorials and kits and stuff, and then it is like a complete, it's the same niche but a whole different lane within that
Yeah.
niche. So it's like, it's not just a minor switch you're making, it's like, yeah, you're gonna have to rebrand the whole thing. Either that or you could keep this one going and then just start a second one, very like unedited videos, and you can kind of just target an older what do you call it? Older age group. Yeah.
Yeah, I did think about that as well. Maybe it seems crazy, but maybe testing it on a different channel
Mm,
because I don't know if if I really want to transition my audience like that because if I do that and it doesn't work out, then it's like how do I rebuild what's already working? Do I need to change what's
mm,
already working? We spoke about it a
yeah.
few times, but it's that thing of wanting something that you don't have, but do we need to stress that when what we've got is good, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, like it's good for you as well. Like I'd probably advise against it on your main channel because I
hmm
feel like I'm not been a guinea pig, but I've somewhat been a guinea pig because my my stuff started going down, traffic and stuff started going down.
yeah,
So I just kind of had nothing to lose almost. I was just like just throwing shit at the wall. I did the daily uploads. That kind of didn't work, and then
hmm
switched back. That kind of brought it back a little bit, and then luckily found this new lane, and it's sticking quite well.
yeah,
Whereas with yours, it's like nothing's broken. So it's like if you make this
yeah,
switch, it's like, God, yeah, it's a huge risk.
exactly. So
Yeah.
I could test it on a different channel, but it's one of those things where I feel like if you wanted to start something new, you'd have to give it your all as well. And if I was running two channels, I wouldn't be able to give my all to one of them.
Yeah, and then there's two businesses as well, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
all the time you're putting into kits and stuff, either doubling that or thinning, like diluting both of them. So
hmm
it's gonna be tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to jump on a call with Ed really because they do live sessions every week and I haven't joined one of them yet because they're more group
Mm.
sessions. Really, I wanted it to be more one-on-one focused rather than group stuff. So that was the only downfall, really, or the bad side of it, because it
Hmm.
was a big investment. But I've just seen that a lot of it is group focused. They can give you like personal feedback on stuff, but it's like maybe you'll drop a YouTube intro, for example, and they'll review that, or you join one of the calls and you might review one of your landing pages or something like that. But I think I wanted more one to one, like deep dive into my
Mm.
business and pick out areas where I could improve. I think I was just looking for an answer that isn't there. You know what I mean? I was like, right, someone just take me from this level to that level. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
maybe I was just overthinking shit.
Maybe, but yeah, maybe at this point, something might come up in the next month or two. Like
hmm
it might make more sense. There might be a way around it where you're not making a full shift, but you can make a small pivot maybe in just like the style of the content, not a huge one, but just something that will maybe aim towards an offer that's like
Yeah.
less having to focus on selling, but like it's like 100, hundreds of kits instead. That you can just do a
I
high
think I
ticket
think
offer.
software has to be my next thing, you know. If we're gonna
Yeah,
go a little bit more high ticket, or even not high ticket, because depending on what you do, it doesn't have to be an expensive plugin. But I feel like that's gonna be the next step.
yeah,
So I've been talking about it for ages, man, and I've spent some time looking for developers. Haven't really found the right person. I met someone through Ed's program, who said he knows some developers, so he's trying to connect me with this girl. I
yeah,
just haven't seen a portfolio yet, so there could be something there. So
yeah,
I think that will be the next big step, yeah, to work on a plugin. It might be quite a long and intense thing, but I feel like I have to do that. It's like moving on from
yeah,
like kit sales, like that's the next big thing. So yeah, I really want to work on something. I've got a couple ideas in mind, which I'll tell you after what my idea
yeah,
is for one of them. Um, but yeah, that might be the next thing. I just need to put
yeah,
the time into actually, because you spend your week doing your usual stuff like your videos, working on sounds and everything. I never just set aside some time. It's like, right, today all I'm going to do is just work on finding a developer. I'm going to post everywhere, I'm going to hit up
mm,
everyone. So I just need to put the time in really.
yeah. No, that's it. It's just like breaking the routine a little bit to then just start getting the ball rolling with it, and then
Yeah,
it's like the same with kits and courses. Like once you get momentum with it, it's
yeah,
everything runs fairly smoothly, but it's that initial getting like the boulder moving. That's the
yeah.
tricky part.
The best thing you can
So,
do is set a deadline. You
mm,
know, especially for kits. I find at the start of the quarter when I know I'm just starting to work on a kit, I'm not really that focused. I'm just working on a few things here and there. But then, man, when it's that last month and I'm like, fuck, my bundle's dropping in like 3 weeks, I'm like, right, every day I'm smashing sounds out. I'm fucking working overtime because
yeah,
you've set yourself a deadline there and you've told people, so you can't let everyone down.
yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, do you find with deadlines it has to be like no, it can't be just a random day. It has to be some kind of holiday or something, because then it feels like more of an official deadline. Whenever I set like I don't know, like January the 15th or something, like a random one like that, I'm
Yeah.
just like, like this, I've got time in even after that. But if it's like, okay, I'm gonna drop it Good Friday, that's bank holiday weekend. I'm gonna drop it on payday for everyone. You know what I mean? Like a proper deadline.
Yeah, sometimes I think like that. I've done some on occasions before, so I've done one on my birthday, so then it's like a reason to celebrate. I do like to tie it in with something. With this
Mm.
one, this deadline we've hasn't been set in stone, but it's going to be the 29th, sorry, 30th of May. I think that's what we set. Because then it's like end of the month, it's payday. So that's like the only reason for this one, no occasion. But for some
Mm.
reason, whenever I do a launch, I don't think about this before, but I just happen to be away every time there's a launch. It's not like I even go away a lot, but I don't know why, but all my previous launches I've just been away that weekend or on holiday or something.
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
booked this one in thinking, oh, nice. But then I'm actually away that weekend as well.
Oh my
Just makes it
God.
harder to promote or harder to be
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah, because you're not like in front of your computer like properly kind of out of
Yeah,
your out of your habitat, I guess.
but it should be okay. I'll
Yeah.
as long as I've got everything prepared before. It's Liam's wedding, my cousin Liam's wedding that weekend, so I'll be away, but I'll have my laptop with me and my phone and shit, so it'll be alright.
Be alright. Be alright.
Yeah.
Yep. What is the kit this time? What's the bundle?
So because people really liked the Sacred Trap Suite, it's sort of like a merge between trap and drill. So think about people who are making like crazy hood trap beats. You know, trying to think of some examples that you would have seen recently. Just like futuristic sounds, just like hard hitting shit. You could make
Log
drill or
drums and
trap with
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like log drums, like distorted basses, just all the modern sounds for making drill trap, hood trap. I just haven't
Mm.
decided how to word it yet because I can't be like, oh, this is the kit for everything, and it needs to be all right. This is the kit for this. It's basically going to be like how would I word it? I don't want to say like futuristic sounds, but just your 2025 shit, the future of trap and drill type of thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I need to sit and think about the wording and the copy and how I present it, but that's the
Yeah.
vibe
Same
anyway.
goes.
Just hard hitting shit. There's 30 loops by me. All the loops are pretty dark as usual. Um, there's obviously a drum kit, analog lab bank, all the usuals. The good thing about this one is there's a huge vocal phrase bank, so there will be like I think there's like 120 vocal phrases in there because I always use like contact banks and stuff for vocals or look on sites like Splice if I haven't got anything myself. So I just wanted like a really solid like vocal kit where it's like really clean. There'll be like a mix of dark vocals, R&B, and some other unique stuff in there. So
Mm.
that'll be like a good selling point. There was going to be a Serum 2 bank, but I've decided to drop that this month instead. So single kit for this month, and then next month will be the bundle. Yeah,
Yeah. Nice one. Yeah, I'm sure it'll go well. I thought that's the next one, like trap slash drill. Like it's almost just like a huge hybrid genre at the minute. It's like trap with
yeah,
drill, but it's got log drums in there as well. So it's like and a
yeah,
piano.
exactly. Yeah, so it's the
Yeah,
fusion at the moment. So that's how I'm going to be promoting it, just like the fusion, I guess.
the fusion bundle.
But what did I call the name? So you know how I've done like the Deep Suite and Planet Drill. I've done like green and blue. This one's all fire themed. The art looks pretty sick
Mm,
as well.
yeah.
I'll show you after. So this one's all fire themed. I think it's called Pyroverse is like the name of the bundle, and then all the names are related to like fire and stuff. So and all the
Mm,
characters look like superheroes and shit. It's pretty sick.
nice one. Is it the same kind of branding as the other ones, like with like the different people and animals on it and stuff?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to pull it up now so you can see. I don't know if you can like see on that camera.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You can just
yeah. I
about
see it.
see, yeah.
Pie reverse. This looks quite cool.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's everything I'm working on at the moment. But this week I've been kind of slow, man, because just
Recovering.
yeah, literally recovering. I've just felt ill all week, so I've been like putting like half-hearted work in, but
Hmm.
should only be this week and then just back to it.
Yeah, nice one. Back to it.
How does it work
Yeah.
with your mentorship then? Like, do people have a set goal and you've got a set amount of time to get them to achieve that goal, or?
Yeah, normally for the first group, it was mainly production. Like that's the main bulk, just improve the production. So uh, there was a couple of things on the back end, like a few guys want to start making content.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Mainly that, like networking and stuff like that. So initially for the first like month and a half, 2 months, we mainly just focused on production. I was like, let's just get that sounding, to a level where when you actually start putting out content, you're
Yeah.
not kind of wasting energy, putting out like
Mm-hmm.
shit beats basically. Um, so yeah, we just focused on that. Mainly started with like a lot of them it was like melodic elements were just missing, like phrases and texture and a little bit of call and response and just
Yeah.
jazzing them up sonically as well. And then it was like, now let's work on the drums, just adding a couple like
Mm-hmm.
it was only like a little few things really, just getting the bounce right, working on like the fills, the
Yeah.
arrangements, and again call and response with the drums too, and then yeah, mixing, getting them hitting right. And yeah, to be fair, it didn't take too long. Right? It only took a month and a half, 2 months for most of them. And then at
Yeah.
the end, it was more so working on um, one of the guys. He's got like a bit of a home studio set up, and he has artists trying like his boys come round to record and stuff. So he
Right.
wanted to start making some money from doing those sessions. So I was like, okay, yeah, let's just get it all set up properly. So we'll have sort of like somewhat of a survey that's
Yeah.
like, what are you trying to achieve? What do you want to record? How many songs? Because he struggles charging. So I was like, okay, if you frame it this way, where you're not like just doing it through IG DMs and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
then it'll be a lot easier for you to be like, okay, this is my prices. So yeah, helped him out with that, and then a lot of the other guys was just getting him uh, figuring out the content stuff. A couple of guys YouTube, a couple of guys like short form stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and that's pretty much it. It's going to be a little bit different this time around. I think one of the guys is mainly production, but this guy that for today might be more content. He already makes YouTube videos and like short form stuff. His beats are alright as well, so might
Nice.
just be yeah, straight on that side of it.
So, do you
Uh,
find that most of your students, I guess, are people who want to like improve production? Are they trying to grow a business, or is it a mix of everything?
Mainly production. Uh, yeah, it's mainly production. So
Okay.
like the for most of them that I'm trying to attract. So like with the last video I did, the talking head one,
Mm-hmm.
I'm really trying to aim for like more of an older, like 25 to 35 or 25 and up.
Yeah.
And a lot of those guys have kind of been doing it for a while, like 5 years making music on and off. They'll do it for a year, stop, and then come back to it. And a lot of them just want to start taking it seriously and
Right.
just get really good. Basically just get to the point where they can start potentially reaching out and selling beats and
Yeah.
um, building up a personal brand and stuff. So the idea, for the most part, is kind of like helping them get the foundations for that, and then they can go out and then start doing their own thing with it. So
Got
it's
you.
less business orientated. Um,
Makes sense.
yeah, which me personally, I was kind of more comfortable with. Like I was like, I know I can get producers like good at producing within
Mm-hmm.
3 months, and I know I can help them with content. The business side, you're dealing with people's like livelihood at that point then. So I was like, I don't want that kind of pressure in the beginning at least.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Are they mostly
Um,
trap producers?
no, it's a mixture. So a few trap producers, like hip hop, and then there's a guy that just likes to do R&B.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy in the UK that likes to do more like kind of drill, kind of drilly stuff, but like garage and
Right.
more like upbeat stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that's it. But yeah, it's a bit of a mixture. One guy likes Detroit style beats mainly,
Right.
but he's trying to venture into different genres as well. So
Nice, man.
yeah,
This is a good mix.
yeah. The thing I didn't anticipate is that there's only two, maybe even one guy in FL Studio.
No way.
Everyone else is Ableton and Logic.
Oh shit. Has that been a struggle to deal with?
No, not really, because I can kind of navigate, like half navigate both of them. So
Okay.
if I need them to, like, we'll share screens and stuff, and I'll be like, okay, you need to do this, or like you need to add, this in this section. So it's kind of easy
Mm-hmm.
to kind of just communicate that way.
Got you.
Yeah,
How long have
so
you been producing now? Since you've been fully on it.
I'm fully on it. But probably was fully on it in my third year, which would have been 2016 now. So
Shit.
fucking nine
Almost 10
years. Yeah.
years. Yeah.
Yeah, I did it as a hobby before that, like on and off, but then really was
Yeah.
like just making beats every day pretty much since then. So
Got you.
yeah, old head now.
Wild to think, isn't it? Again, if we class just on it, then I only like to say about 5 years. I remember like 2019, I started taking it a little bit more seriously, or I at least started thinking about doing it full time then. Um, and then I left my job in September 2019, so that was when I really like went in. And that's even crazy to think because my beats were so shit when I left my job. So even that to think like people would have heard those beats and be like, yeah, I wouldn't hand any notice yet. But um, before that, like I'd made beats before that, but it was very rare that I'd make one. It would just be like a little bit of fun here and there, or just chop up a little sample, not really know anything about it. I wasn't really
Yeah.
obsessed like I am now. I always wanted
Mm.
to do it, but I just felt like there was no point at the time. I just had the wrong mindset of thinking, oh, it's pointless. I'm just can't make a living off this anyway. I'm just working, so what's the point? Um,
Mm.
so yeah, 5 years fully focused, I'd say.
Yeah.
So,
What was the
but
turning point when you were like, okay, I actually know I can make a career in it now?
I think it was so around that time. It was when Kira's mum was ill, and we knew that she was gonna die because of her illness. And I was lucky enough to not have someone close to me pass away like that, so I didn't really have an impact like that. But then when that happened, because we were so close, and I was like basically living with her, I saw it, and it made me think, fuck, man, like life is actually short. Because she was the picture of good health. She was doing yoga every day, had the right diet, cycling to work every day, just like the last person you'd expect to get ill, you know what I mean? So
Mm.
when that hit, it was like, fuck, man, like life is actually short. You know how your parents are always saying it, like make the most out of it. You know,
Mm.
you'll get old one day. So I was just thinking, man, if I don't at least try something now, I'm gonna get to like 40, 50 and look back and think you're a dickhead. Like, what? You didn't even like try and fulfill your dream. And then I think around that time as well, it was just a huge mindset shift because podcasts became more popular. So I started listening to a lot of interviews with people and hearing more conversations with successful people. Because before that, when we were growing up, we didn't really have that. We like saw some stuff on YouTube maybe, but there weren't influencers like there are today. So the only people we could look up to was the people around us or the
Yeah.
occasional interview that you'd see. But then when you start listening to a lot of podcasts and hearing successful people talk, and everyone's got the same story of they just gave it everything, like they didn't come from any crazy like successful background, they just put everything in. So it was a bit of a mindset shift with that, seeing what happened to Kira's mom. And then after all that, I was just like, you know what? None of this shit around me matters. Like when I was in the office and you have all these office politics and people like sucking the boss's dick to get a promotion, and it's like a weird environment in an office. It's like school
Mm.
again, how there's like a
It
hierarchy and
is.
people kiss the boss's ass and
Yeah.
snaking people to climb up a ladder. So all of a sudden that just became so irrelevant and so fucking pointless to me in my head. I was just as soon as that shit happened, I was just like checked out. I was just like, yeah, I'm done. Like, this isn't what life's about.
Mm.
And I think I always knew that I wanted to do something as well. I was never someone who wanted to work for someone. I was always like adamant that I want to work for myself. Whereas some people are cool with going to a 9 to 5 because they can clock out and just have a
Yeah,
normal life. So
yeah,
I don't like to throw shade on people who work it. It just wasn't for me. That was all.
yeah. No, I get that, and I think yeah, you're right. Some people like just want to, but not just like they prefer to work so that they can live outside of work, not live
Yeah.
towards what's the say. You know what I mean? Like where you're not having to think about work all the time.
Yeah, some people
Um,
like that. And that's fine because
yeah,
not everyone wants to go all out and work constantly to
yeah,
fulfill their
exactly.
dream. And not everyone has a dream like that. It's more like, yeah, I just want to work to get paid and enjoy myself on the weekends. So,
Yeah, exactly.
but yeah,
No,
it
that's
was
pretty
that
cool.
turning point, definitely. And
Mm.
then I was just like obsessed at that point because I think I was thinking as well is, or the thing I was thinking was, so I had some money saved up to buy a house at that point. And then I was thinking, if I buy a house, I'm just gonna be doing the same shit. So I was
Mm.
lucky enough to have savings there to last me a couple of years if I just went back to the bare minimum. So I sold my car, sold my like got rid of my phone contract, all of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just thinking if I can just put all my time in, I'm gonna become better way faster than if I was gonna try and do it part time. Because that's what most people said. They were like, "Can't you just do it on the side?" And some people can, but I was thinking, well, if I do it on the side, I'm in work all day, so realistically, I'm gonna have a few hours every day to do it. Or if I quit and take a risk, I'm gonna have fucking 12 hours every day to grind at it, and I'll just get better
Mm.
way faster.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you ask yourself what's the worst that could happen, most of the time the answer isn't as bad as you think. I was thinking,
No.
okay, I'm in a good position. What's the worst that could happen? I'll lose my job. All right. I'll won't have enough as much money. Don't really need it because I can just sell my car, get a shitter one,
Mm-hmm.
stop buying clothes, stop going out.
Yeah.
And if everything goes to shit, I've already worked, so maybe I won't struggle to find another job. It's like, all right, that does sound
Yeah.
too bad. I think I can live with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It's never as bad as what you think. People have their lifestyle set up. They buy their car, they buy their house, they'll have a lifestyle, and then yeah, as soon as it comes to like me, like you say, wanting to build something, maybe they want to build a business or something. No one ever does it because they just like that paycheck too
Yeah,
much, and they just like the fancy car, and they'll like the um just the lifestyle they've built up, and they don't want to change it, just even just temporarily, for a
hmm,
couple of years, just while they're building something, and then you've got it back and potentially more as well. So it's like, yeah, it's just like, it's making that decision in it, like, okay, yeah, it's not going to be actually that bad. It's only going to be like this for a few years.
yeah,
And then worst case situation, you just go get another job. Like it's not,
yeah.
it's not a big deal.
And we didn't have
Yeah,
big responsibilities. Like, yeah, we had a job and like rent and shit to pay, but we didn't have kids. That would have been a
yeah,
different story. If I had kids, I
yeah,
might not have been able to do it then.
yeah. That's a huge factor, really. Kids. I'd say that's the biggest one, really,
Yeah. Uh huh.
over a mortgage and everything like that. I think it's probably the biggest one
Definitely. Let me
because it's
ask you
not
this
just,
actually. I put something up on my Instagram the other day. Um, I was just thinking about it because it has been 5 years since we've been doing it full time, which is crazy
mm,
to think about, really.
I know,
So I asked
and
everyone what strategies have producers had to change in the last 5 years. What do you think we've
yeah.
had to change in the last 5 years, just as producers?
Uh, I think it's just case by case, really. I'd
Mm,
say everyone, like you've got industry guys that maybe needed to pivot a little bit and start making content to build their own thing that's more like more in their own control and stuff. And then
yeah,
you've got those guys who kind of came up on YouTube making like sample packs and stuff like that. But that I feel like that's evolved as well. And
yeah,
then so I'm just gonna plug my laptop in.
yeah, cool.
Look, 2 secs. Yeah, so I'd say yeah, so obviously sample packs and stuff as well. But then the content's had to change over time as well.
Hmm.
To some distinct, maybe just the packaging, like the way you present the
Yeah.
content. Uh, I'd just say, I'd say for me at the minute, I've had to make a huge change over the last like 6 months, just really weigh up what I've got going on and make a pivot to kind of survive everything.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, honestly, I think it's just case by case. Really, it's really difficult to kind of put a finger on it.
Yeah, I
Um,
guess it depends what you're doing, like if whether you're chasing placements. Well, let's say the people that are chasing placements, what they had to, how have they had to adapt over the last 5 years?
I'd probably say I feel like it's just loads of different ways to build it up. So a lot of the guys maybe that were getting placements remotely by just sending beats out, um, maybe like that's evolved a bit more to the point where not as many like rappers are using beats just been sent to their email. Maybe they just wanna they've got their producers that are in sessions more often. Kind of found that when I was doing sessions in 2023, because I used to send out beats a lot and then didn't really get a huge amount back from it. But
Hmm.
when I was in sessions, it was just 100 times easier because you're right in front of them. You just play them
Yeah.
beats. They're listening to them then and there. Um, so yeah, maybe they've had to kind of pivot, be more of a sample maker and try
Hmm.
and reach the people that are in sessions. And yeah, maybe just the way they network, through Discord instead of IG DMs, trying to get in touch with the engineers instead of the artists directly and managers. And
Right.
yeah, but I feel like it's probably just a constant thing where you're just trying to get to the right people, in order to get to the guy.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's definitely changed a lot. It's it's hard to say how, for people that have just been in sessions like, constantly, it's hard to say how they've had to adapt because I haven't really lived that life yet. But
Mm,
I think for people who are trying to do it online, I think 5 years ago it was at the early ages of sending loops out because Splice was becoming popular. People were way more open to accepting loops. And then a couple of years in, we had this massive wave of loop makers just trying to send
yeah,
loops to everyone. And then it started becoming annoying for producers because people would just find emails anywhere and just like send and send. And a lot of people found that annoying, especially like producers who were more in the industry because they were just getting like waves of emails from people and DMs just asking for shit, just saying, yo, let me send you loops, let me send you loops
yeah,
without building a relationship first. So I can
hmm
see why that would be annoying. And then I think people have taken a step back from that, or at least certain producers have stopped accepting that because a lot of shit backfired. So people would send the loops out, maybe they'd get a placement, and then they'd be asking for too much, like asking for 50%
yeah,
of everything when the producer's not even getting 50% of everything. And there was just many occasions like that where people were just thinking, right, these kids are like sending loops to everyone, but they don't understand the business, and they're sending loops that aren't even their loops, and
yeah.
then they're getting
Taking from
fucking
other
yeah.
people's and yeah, putting their tag on it.
So it just went. Then I think we just went back to basics of relationships. Then it's like the people who I send loops to now. It's just people that I've maybe met personally or I've had actual conversations with. So yeah, I think we
Mm.
had the wave of loop makers sending shit out, and then because of all the bullshit there, people have taken a step back. So now we're relying more on relationships, which is kind of how it's always been anyway.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's never gonna get saturated. Relationships.
Yeah.
Um, there's always going to be little tactics here and there that kind of come and go, like say like loops and stuff like that. But yeah, just talking to humans. You're talking to humans at the end of the day. So
Hmm.
you got to build those relationships. Um, and yeah, it's weird. Hip hop's weird, man. Like when I'm working with Dark Label, all their guys work in either pop or country and R&B, and that that is such like a way more traditional way of working where they reach
Yeah.
out. Maybe that version of reaching out through Instagram is like meeting someone at a meetup thing. Like meeting an artist there, so the
Yeah.
normal conversation, get on a call as soon as possible, just talk about what they're trying to get into, what their vibe is, what their goals are, and shit like that, and then
Hmm.
and then the artist kind of just, you speak about the next project and then what you can do for them, and it's such a way more like traditional way of working, which is just nicer. You build a relationship one
Yeah.
to one. You build a song, whereas hip hop's so like not fickle. It's hard to like figure out.
It's
But
like the
it's
Wild West, isn't it?
yeah, like everyone's out for themselves. Like they just want to send, like say, send like spam
Yeah.
loops, and they want to get placements, and yeah,
I think there's
it's
this
just
like vulture mentality, isn't there? Where it's like,
yeah,
this one, they want shortcuts. I'm just trying to like get it. I just want to leverage your brand, leverage your relationships, but not really put the work in myself. There's
mm,
a lot of that you see happen. Even small things, it will be like, so producers who say you'll sample something. I'm sure you've had this in your videos. Like you'll sample something, make a beat out of it, then everyone's like, "What's the sample? What's the sample?" They just want to use that sample instead of
yeah,
part of the whole sampling thing is you crate dig. That was like what they used to call it back in the day, crate digging, like actually finding the records. But
mm,
now it's just like going through the depths of YouTube trying to find interesting samples. But people don't even want to put that work in. It's just like, oh, that's awesome. Let me sample what he sampled. It's like,
yeah.
you
Sampling the
know what I mean?
sample.
Everyone just wants something quick and easy. But to be fair, they're the people that don't last as well. Because over the
Yeah,
last 5 years,
yeah,
we've seen a massive influx of producers, but the community doesn't feel the same as it did 5 years ago.
no,
I think during lockdown we had this spike of production, and I could be wrong because I don't know the figures or anything, but it feels like we had this like wave of producers, and now even though there's still loads, it feels like it might have died down a little bit. But it'd be
yeah.
interesting
You're
to
right.
know.
Yeah, and I think you're right. There's a big influx, and then no one really. There's a few people that stuck around. People that came out of COVID. Obviously, we
Yeah,
started to blow up during COVID. Um, but I feel like our mindset was just like, there's no plan B at this point. Like, let's just fucking
yeah,
send it. There's no,
hmm
we're really sending it. And for like people like with that mindset of, they managed to stick around and they figured it out. But for the most part, yeah, there was a lot of people who went into COVID. Obviously, they couldn't go into work, and they're like, okay, let me get back into music, and then they
yeah,
get back into it. Got a bunch of spare time, they can make content. Then life starts happening. Then life kicks back in again,
hmm
and then it's like, oh, I only really wanted to. It was almost like a time passing thing, And
yeah,
then
definitely.
so yeah, they're just it's yeah, like I say, people kind of falling away from it again, and maybe it's kind of just simmered down again. Maybe that we're on the back end of that wave now.
Maybe,
So
yeah. And it's 5 years, so a lot of people have like grown up a bit too. But then you'd think there'd
mm,
be a new wave of producers coming in, which I'm sure there is, but yeah, it just
mm,
feels things just feel a bit different.
hmm yeah, it's kind of tricky. I think it's kind of hard as well, isn't it, to really see where stuff's going. You can only really know your own audience. Like you can
Yeah.
see, okay, these people watch my videos at this age group, so I only really know that particular population of producers, but there's
Yeah, there's loads
millions
out
of
there.
others.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah, I'm
that
sure
the
there's
big
like
eye
an
opener.
active community somewhere, like a community that's thriving where they're like, ah, there's more producers than ever, but because we're not tapped into that, we're not like fully seeing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've kind of got our ecosystem now.
Hmm
It was a big eye opener. That yeah, it's so right. Like we have our own ecosystem. We just think, okay, this is the group of producers. These are all the guys that I'm going to be able to
Yeah.
reach. These are my kits that they're going to be aimed to. And
Uh-huh.
me personally, I had to kind of break out of that mindset because I was in just this like weird place where I was like, man, fuck, like this trap niche just is like falling. Like it's not as vibrant as it used to be. People aren't coming
Yeah.
to the videos like they used to. And I was just like, I didn't know the answer. And then when I found like the dark label stuff, I was like, shit, there's fucking so many more circles,
Yeah.
and like there's so many more like niches and stuff within music that
Yeah, you're
you
right.
just aren't aware of. Yeah. 'Cause if you get too deep in your own stuff, really, I think that was the thing.
Yeah, fully, man. You get wrapped up in your
Mm.
own world, don't you? And you think like when you post a video, for example, that everyone's seen it, or you make a post on Instagram and you just assume that everyone knows about what you're doing, but it's a very, very small percentage.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, I think that's right. And people like, you might have someone bump into you in the street and might recognize you, so you just assume that because you're in production, anyone else in production probably kind of knows of you or something, but it's just not the case. It just
Yeah,
isn't the case.
yeah, fully.
So, yeah. But yeah, Dan, I was on a call with Dan yesterday at Dark Label, and he said he was like, J Cactus. I was like, yeah, yeah. And he said, I think he saw that he was in the Ed Lawrence
Oh
thing
yeah.
now, because he's in there as well. Um, and yeah, it was just like, I'm sure he did say, I'm sure like if he sticks it out, like it'll make a huge difference for him. But I guess it's sort of like, it's you know your business more than anyone, so it's like, yeah, just trying to figure it
Yeah,
out.
and I need to, I need to give it my all in there and see, or at least
Mm,
like I've been watching the video content as well because half of it's the video course and then half of it's the networking that you do within their private Discord. So it is good. I could just see it being way more valuable for people who maybe don't have everything set up.
mm,
Because when I went through the initial system of going through the checklist of like, okay, have you done this? Have you done that? Have you done that? If so, then go to this part. It's like, even though there's like loads of stuff in there, it's not like you have to go through everything. They'll be like, you'll
mm,
start on a section depending on where you're at. But then when I kind of looked at my figures and shared everything, there was nothing that was broken. So for a lot of people, for example, they might have a landing page that just isn't converting, or they might have a lead magnet that's shit. And there's something clear that's like, okay, this is what we need to fix. But it just wasn't that there wasn't anything that was that clear with mine because I've been running it for a long time now, and we kind of, the Heat guys work with me as well, so we kind of like nailed everything to a certain degree. My whole thing was
yeah,
like, right, how do I take it from here where it's working to this next level where it's like, all right, we've gone from X amount to this, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. It's tricky. Like I feel like there's never a point where you like people like starter producers. They think, okay, if I get to this point, I'm chilling, like I'm cool. But I feel like that point never comes. You go,
Nah,
okay, well, I want to go full time in music. So you go full time in music. You're like, shit, okay, I've done it now. I've done it for 6 months full time. And you're like, but now what? Like, I've just kind of plateaued. And then you go, okay, right, let me figure this out. So it's just constant. And
yeah.
then
And it's not
even
greed, is it? It's just you don't want to be complacent. You always want to
yeah,
like it's kind of to say, but it's like it is the journey that's fun. It's not, you get to how many subscribers you're on now?
92.
Oh shit, getting close to that
Yeah.
100. But I bet for a while you just wanted that 50k, and then as soon as you get there, it's like nothing changes.
No.
And obviously, when you hit 100k, it's fucking sick. You get the plaque, it's nice. But then also you're like, all right, what now?
Yeah.
Now I'm
Yeah.
chasing 300, and nothing actually changes. It's just the journey of getting to that point. So
Yeah.
it's the same with finances. You'll get to a certain point that you think you would have never got to before. Like I earn way more now compared to what I did in my office, but still at this point I'm like, all right, I just need something to work towards because
Yeah.
you don't want to get complacent.
Well, then you got nothing to do. Like you got no purpose at that point. So it's like,
Yeah,
what do I do? I think it's like, and I've seen it too many times now. I think it's good with the internet now because you can see it happen over and over. Like Tyson Fury, for example, his whole life's goal was to be the lineal heavyweight champion and beat
yeah,
Klitschko. And then he finally got the opportunity. He won it. He did what he needed to do, and that was his life goal at 20,
yeah.
25 or something. And he hit it, and
So
he was
what do you
like,
do from there?
"Yeah, what do you do?" So he just got drunk every day and did drugs. So it's like
Yeah.
you need to like forget the end goal, not forget the end goal. Keep some end goals in mind, but just be
Hmm.
like, um, almost have like a bunch of different end goals, like long term. Even if they're not set in stone and you don't know clearly what they are. It's like, okay, let me hit X amount of subscribers or make X amount a month, but then let me try and figure out a way to do this. And then
Yeah.
even when you start hitting those financial goals, I saw this video of this like an entrepreneur guy, and he was like, I had my first 100k month, and he goes, but it's been the worst month of my life. Like I was working constantly and stressed out. I want
Hmm.
everything in my control, so I don't delegate. And it's like, okay, you've hit that financial goal, but now your lifestyle's fallen to shit. So can you figure out a way to keep that financial thing up while improving your life and freeing up time?
Yeah.
Delegating. So it's just it never ends. It's like the financial goals are good, but if your life's and in shit rags, it's like what's the point? You
Yeah,
can't
it's
enjoy
true,
it.
man. It's a lot of these
Yeah,
people who you think are doing amazing because they're well off financially. They might feel like shit deep down.
yeah, exactly. And the stress or like the burden of like you dealing with all this money, people have put all this money
Yeah.
into your pocket, and then you're like, man, I got to live now. So it's like it's like not how much you make, it's how you make it is probably more important.
Yeah, definitely. But some
Because
people
like,
genuinely enjoy that stress as well. Like I've got one friend who is very business focused and his whole life has revolved around chasing money. But that's his whole enjoyment. Like he just gets a thrill off it. Like this guy's a year younger than me and he's getting close to owning 10 properties. He's running a recruitment
wow,
business and it's like he must work like shit. Like he fucking just works really hard, but that's his fun. He
yeah,
actually really enjoys working. He hates having a day off because it's like this is shit. Like what am I
yeah,
doing?
yeah, exactly. And that's good. Yeah, like he's found the thing that drives him, and he's enjoying like that adrenaline of yeah, like being on the go constantly.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I think he's just trying to get to that point where you actually find that thing where you're happy doing it, and also you're living how you want to live. So it's like
uh huh,
yeah, I think I'd probably say personally like when I was when we first started get like growing as all our channels started growing, and obviously the kit stuff started growing with it. I think me, I don't know about you, but me personally, I kind of just fell into that. I wasn't planning on selling kits, so I didn't really know that was
nah,
a
me
lane.
neither.
Yeah, I didn't really know it was a lane, but then it became a lane, and then I just felt obligated to just to hit that, so I just kind of did it. Um, but then yeah, just kind of started overworking myself. Like traffic, maybe some like the traffic started going down,
Mhm.
and the having to take care of sponsors every month, and the putting enough time in to put out good kits all the time, plus making YouTube videos and edit them. I just like felt fully burnt out. I was making a decent amount at the peak of it, but I was like,
Yeah,
man, like I'm killing myself. Yeah, every week I'm not really enjoying anything. I've not got time away from work to actually enjoy the life
yeah.
I've built. You know,
Mhm.
so yeah, and then obviously it came to a head maybe like middle of last year, and then pivoted and finally started to figure out like yeah, this is like a way better lifestyle. It's not perfect yet, but it's definitely the step where a step in the
Yeah.
right direction.
It's
Um,
good that you've been able to do that, man. And
mm,
it's wild to think because it's like a whole different business as well. And you think,
yeah,
oh yeah, people will say, oh, you got lucky with producing and you got lucky with sample kits. It's like obviously luck had nothing to do with it, but you've
mm,
managed to make a complete pivot and still grow that business. It just shows that you can fucking just do anything you really put your mind to in this.
yeah, 100%. I think like luck plays into it in terms of being able to like have the opportunity to chase it. So like
Hmm.
for you, you wasn't lucky in the slightest in the fact that like you um that you had to build it and maybe some videos banged. It was the fact that luckily you had that brainwave of okay, yeah, I'm just gonna quit my job, and you got
Yeah,
exposed to some podcasts and interviews where you actually saw that it was possible, and that
yeah.
was the luck side that you got shown
Hmm.
to. You luckily you had access to internet and saw all that stuff, but the actual work side of it, that's not luck. That's just strategy and careful planning and just putting the work in really.
Yeah, of
So
course. Yeah, I guess with everything, there's a certain element of luck involved, but then you do also create your own luck as well. So
yeah,
that mindset shift, for example, wouldn't have happened if I wasn't listening to, if I didn't choose to listen to podcasts and interviews and focus on positive shit compared to just going out every weekend and listening to bullshit, you know?
hmm yeah, exactly.
So you
And
do have to
then
create your own luck a little bit. But yeah, I know what you mean. There's a certain luck involved with everything because I did get in at the right time as well with COVID
mm,
and everything.
yeah, but yeah, yeah, and then people say, yeah, look, like, yeah, you started making drill stuff when drill was on the way up, which, yeah, it's good timing and stuff, but fast forward 5 years and the schedule hasn't changed. You're still putting in
Yeah,
the grind and the work. So it's like,
exactly.
yeah, it frustrates when people say that. Oh, God, I won't say who it was, but someone said to me, was just talking about like the YouTube stuff, and I was probably in like year three of trying to build everything. And the guy at the time, he was trying to build something as well. Like, he was trying to do like some YouTube content and grow an audience.
Yeah.
Uh, and he was trying to say he's like, it's a lot easier for you because you're kind of making tutorials for like a specific group of people that want to learn and everything. Basically, he was saying like, yeah, it's easier for you when I'm trying to do like
Yeah.
vlog stuff, and I was like, well, I was like, all right, whatever. But yeah, some people, man.
I know. It's easy to just say that to someone, isn't it? Because then it just
Mm,
makes people say that because it makes themselves feel better about why they haven't achieved the goal or why they're not even putting in the work. It's like, yeah, I'm making the right decision by not trying because these guys are lucky and I'm not lucky.
mm. Yeah, yeah, that's literally it. That's literally it. I think in the beginning it's hard. Like, I don't know if you found this, but I found it tricky when people say stuff like that. But then after at this point, it's just like you just know why they're saying it. They're just saying it because, like you say, they want to make themselves feel a little bit better.
Yeah. It's the
Yeah.
same way you just deal with any negative comment, isn't it? I used to really let them get to me, but these days, now and again, one might just get me riled up for a moment, but then I realize why they're saying it and where it's coming from, and then you start to feel bad for him. It's like, yeah, this guy just needs
Mm.
the therapy or some shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So did you see Jack had a bit of a moment the other week. I spoke to him about it. It was I think it was at the weekend. I think I can't remember who it was, but someone which was chatting shit about him using certain style of thumbnails and stuff. I think he spoke about Jack before, and then Jack posted on his story like it basically just snapping back at him, and it was pretty. It wasn't hard. Like he wasn't having beef directly with him. He was just like calling him out, like, "Why do you need to speak to me about that?" So I spoke to him about it, and he was like, "Yeah, just normally I let it go, but it just
Just
pissed me
dealing with
off a
some
lot."
shit.
Yeah, it just pissed him off a lot. So I was like, "Yeah, fair play, let him have it."
Sometimes you just get caught up in the wrong moment, man. Maybe you just had a bad day, and then you see something, and it just adds fuel to the fire.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly.
Happens to all of us.
Yeah. Yeah. I might have to wrap because I've got to jump back home for past and jump on the first call for the day.
Yeah,
That's
it's cool.
okay.
We could wrap up now.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully you guys like that one. We should have Ocean back next week, and maybe a special guest as well. So tune into that.
Yep.
Peace,
Yep.
everyone.
Peace.